He hasn't had the best of seasons. Ruben needs to demonstrate he is a great coach over 3 years. That's where I would be. You can't run a club like United on knee-jerk reactions to the press who goes off on one every week. The words of the minority owner who is in charge of all football operations at Manchester United, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Possibly some of the most disheartening, depressing words I've had to read in years. Now let's not get it wrong here. The moment that Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid was accepted, I was of the feeling of hope and optimism that finally, after my whole adult football life, the Glazers being in charge of Manchester United with incompetence from top to bottom, that hopefully there would be some change. I want Ed Woodward back. For an owner of Manchester United, or someone who is the final decision maker of Manchester United, to accept and say that this manager, who has put us through what he's put us through, who is the worst manager in Manchester United history, bar nobody, and for him to say it is not just acceptable, we are going to give him 3 years. 3 years is past his even contract. His contract ends of next season. It's the end of next season. To prove he is a good coach. What indication have you had so far that there even could be a good coach in here? Success in Portugal. He joined Manchester United 4 points off top 4. Left us in 15th with no trophies, going to Europa League final against Tottenham Hotspur and giving them European glory. 3 years. 3 years. The real criminals behind what is going on currently at Manchester United is Ineos, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his bunch. All of those who are, maybe they're too cowardly to get rid of Amarim in fear of negative PR. Look, we've cut so many people's jobs. If we sack another manager, it's going to make us look so bad. Cowards. Cowards. Sorry, I have to call a spade a spade. You have to tell the truth where possible. It's cowardice. And if I had recorded this video last night, I don't know what kind of words I would have said. The disrespect from Jim Ratcliffe to say getting rid of Amarim currently would be a knee-jerk reaction is pathetic. 11 months of football we've had to watch under this manager. And he is saying the data collected after 11 months by fans, analysts, pundits alike, rival fans or Man United fans, seeing what they've seen for those 11 months is what he is calling knee-jerk. Where's the knee-jerk? Where's the knee-jerk, brother? Where's the flippancy of a decision like that? As if there isn't enough data. For me, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you had your first game and your only game as Manchester United manager was Europa League final against Spurs and you lost, you should be sacked based on that one game. Call it knee-jerk if you want to. Forget about that. 11 months in which we have seen, and I'm not here to talk about tactic shapes or formations or systems or anything like that, because if there was anything positive to see, then we would have seen it by now. And we haven't. That's the reality of the situation. So Jim Ratcliffe goes on further to do 2 major things that disgusted me, in all honesty. He compared the situation of Amarim currently, in which he is by far and away the worst Manchester United manager of all time, with less than 30% win rate after 11 months, which is pathetic, this is ridiculous. He went on to then compare Ruben Amarim's situation to Mikel Arteta's situation at Arsenal, which is a spit in the face and a disrespect to Arsenal Football Club as an establishment. Arsenal, in those years in which they were getting clowned, when it was dark, don't get me wrong, it was dark, they finished the league at 8th place. Brother, we finished 15th with this guy. How can you compare the same situation? Let alone league position. If you look further at what their style of play during the beginning time, if you look at the FA Cup win, being big teams in style, in a way in which you can see these players are receptive to this manager and there is a plan and a style of play. There is a style of play in progress. With Amarim, we have now seen clearly by the win against Sunderland, the last win that we had against Sunderland, we have seen evidently there is no attempt to do build-up play. in which we were told he does this revolutionary style of build-up play where the centre and centre-half does all left, right and centre. But we'll go long now. Man United are a team that go long now. They hit Sesko and they try and play after that. Which wouldn't be an issue if that is what you came with in the first place. This manager is a coward as well. That's the reality of the situation. For you to say, I am not going to change, I'm going to die on my sword, is a public way of saying, sack me. If you have the balls, sack me. Ineos have answered. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's answered. He doesn't have the balls to sack him. He does not have the balls to sack him. Only way that this ends is if Amarim steps away. Which we can only hope for. It's the only thing we can hope for out of the situation. Knee jerk. It's a spit in the face. He then went on to try and compare it to Sir Alex Ferguson. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? It's disgraceful. These words, these directives coming from ownership is pathetic, and it is scary to even hear as a fan. It is scary to hear your owner say some of the things that we've heard. It is genuinely scary. And now I want to speak to those of you who are still Amarim in. Because it has become clear that there is no response of coherence from anything. The only thing that they see is you go and support another team. You're not a real Manchester United fan. Your negativity is agenda driven. All of these kind of things they say all the time. Right? Where is your actual coherent points? Those of you who are still want to back this manager, those of you who are still left, it's about not breaking the cycle. It's about, look what happened to Sir Alex and look how long it was. We don't want to keep chopping and changing. Chop and change. Chop and change. The game is different now. The reality of the matter is this. He's not the right manager. Get rid of him until the right man comes in. Especially if they do what Amarim's been doing. If there was something there to look at and to fight for and some kind of essence of progress, just a little bit of progress, then there's something to argue for. But there hasn't been. That's the reality of the situation. There hasn't been. There has also been recent reports. The famous boxing, I don't know what to say, organizer, promoter, Turki Al Sheikh, tweeted kind of cryptically last night. The best news I heard today is that Manchester United is now in an advanced stage of completing a deal to sell to a new investor. I hope he's better than the previous owners. For me, immediately, as this was the aftermath of the same night of Sir Jim Ratcliffe's quotes, I didn't read too much into it. I thought he's just trolling. Move on. I know he might be a United fan, but this can't be serious. And there haven't been any legitimate reports to come out today after that. Genuinely, I dislike my club. I prefer to analyze other football clubs. Liverpool and their frailties, Arsenal and their journey to success, Chelsea and the context behind why they look so good, but it isn't really working out on the pitch right now. Or is it really not working out on the football pitch? Are they unlucky? These kind of things. These storylines bring me so much more excitement than Manchester United right now. United is just a ball fest. People ask what Amarim has done. I can't. They said, what's Amarim done to you? Why is there so much emotion attached? Lost the European final to Spurs. Hasn't won back-to-back games in the Premier League. SubhanAllah, since taking over. The brother with the hair, he has no chance. The treatment of Kobe Mino. The Rashford comments were bad. The stubbornness, the gaslighting in the media as well. Genuinely, this is one of the worst managers I've ever seen. But what will they say? They will say, go and support another team. Go and support another team. It's not, we don't need your negativity here. I'm genuinely in shock. Genuinely in shock. And I don't really know how to fully process it. But that's it. R.I.P. Manchester United, guys.